We are thankful to God for this historic moment. I am most grateful for the privilege to superintend this ceremony on behalf of Nananu and people of Suma and Germany. I thank His Royal Majesty Nana Kese Adinkra, the current German, by whose magnanimity this event has materialized. I convey his special felicitations to you all. I am the woman of and yes, I want to be. You are so paying with your job. You are now ministers, members of parliament, and you are members of council of state. Nana, as you may fall attitude, as of one in war, I party announce about in war. Inside love war, any Mabawa, and Ranchi of Mashimo. I am a say, maybe that's not my dear at the same. Now, dear, the car and the last Kese man and not as Yadman, or no name or yet Yaman. Now, and there's your friend of him. Or no, I'm a parent, I'm a sabri, Metiha, meaning Majesty. Reverend Dr. Chairman, the prime objective of this lecture, which we have resolved to hold annually, is to honor the memory of my uncle, the late Nana Adinkra, who, as German about 200 years ago, invented the Adinkra symbol, which has become a state bona fide property and a cherished one. You are German, so playing. And then you might be the what I say. You have a year in Chechnya. You have a sapphire, so now you have a share and a Adinkra. And the Munya war, no more thing, Nimbin, the Sa, Naku on the Tono. Now, all numbers of Mahode Adinkra symbols, and then other than a Japanese. Apart from honoring the memory of King Adinkra, this lecture will recognize and celebrate the legendary works of past and present Ghanaians who have made positive impact on society that inspires creativity and patriotism for national development through deliberate nurturing of culture. And now, Jumadia Yedi, and then another grandpa said, "The other one of us." Namu, Ghana from Panipudia, Anna, Mapawa, and Rantia, Panipua, what is here? Abua, Amagana, and you know the Duba, there will be become extra one, as I said, Yabo Maras. They have a sacrifice, so Yamame. They are able to be a boy and I am proud of this splendid assemblage of dignified speakers and audience at this maiden edition of the lecture. The huge numbers of people present here today is an indication of our preparedness to learn and serve our country as our forebears did. The caliber of the speakers drawn carefully from different spheres of life also indicates the quality and importance of this lecture. Indeed, I am delighted that there are many young people here, especially students, who will learn a lot from these eminent speakers. In the days and years to come, when the story of Adinkra and the lecture is told, some of these young ones will be around to say, yes, we were there when the first seed was sown. I am confident some of these young ones here will take up the mantle of telling the Adinkra story as future speakers. The origin and the history of Adinkra symbol. Reverend Chairman, at this August moment, I have a duty to recount how the famous Adinkra symbols evolved. In many societies across the world, the inventions or creations of individual peoples are named after them, and therefore Adinkra symbol was named after the creator, Nana Ojo Adinkra, the German who reigned during the late 17th century and the 18th century and the early 19th century. King Ojo Adinkra was a charismatic, inspirational leader of the German kingdom that saddled part of the present-day Broab region, the German and the Tai district, and the mid-eastern part of the Republic of La Côte d'Ivoire. He ruled the German kingdom during the latter part of the 18th century. The king created Adinkra symbols under an inspiration as a means of communication. Whenever the inspiration came upon him, he drew the symbol, named them, and explained their meanings and significance to his people or the paramount chief who were under him. This was how he helped build a strong culture that unified the people and fought together to improve the lives of his people. Strong culture brings about unity, identity, and commitment to live together for peace and development. As a means of preserving the symbols, the king engraved the symbols on guards. Later on, he had a golden stool and caused the symbols to be engraved on the solid gold. It was the Adinkra golden stool that resulted in the Ashanti and German war, which we defeated them anyway. The first ever Adinkra symbol that was created was Big Nkabi. And the meaning of Big Nkabi was that no one should bite one another. And if you look at my crown, that is a symbol in my crown. Big Nkabi, which means no one should bite one another. Say, in the back, you have to cast one. Me can't Big Nkabi, be at here. Now, the other, you have to say Adinkra symbol. I Jama, I have the said, Big Nkabi, a Procasa, and your Casa Phobia. It is a daily kind of Nkabi, nay, I don't want Yajapadia. Many people talk about intellectuals, and who are these intellectuals? Ladies and gentlemen, we often get it wrong when we want to describe or define who an intellectual is. Claiming that an intellectual is a person who has several certificates, academic and professional. But in my candid opinion, I believe intellectual is somebody who is able to think and resolve problems, as has been claimed and stated by Dr. Professor Kofi Abdul, our learned former Prime Minister and first Ghanaian professor. And he said an intellectual is someone who is able to apply his mind to a problem by way of resolving these problems. Indeed, that is exactly what Nana Adinkra did in his era as a king. According to oral tradition, as I've been told, and documented narrations, Nana Adinkra used the Big Nkabi symbolism to quell a seemingly rancor that would have led to a civil war in his time. Can we exclude this man when we draw a list of intellectuals, both present and past? Apart from not honoring Nana Ojo Adinkra for his tremendous legacy, which has become a legacy for Ghana as well and Africa, we, the succeeding generations, have failed to realize the mission for which the king created these symbols. It has become just a design on walls, in our clothing and day-to-day activities. In my opinion, if we are continuing to develop the Adinkra project or the symbols, we could have developed alphabets similar to that of the Chinese and those of other civilizations. After all, civilization is said to began in Africa. Sir Osha Adinkra symbols, and said the Atia. Say, Canana, Amai, Ghana, my Yajitu, and I said the area. Nka said the car and China for player or Mutreno, and then the glass of queens, I think I took the glass symbol and represented the land as a means of communication. Reverend Dr. Chairman, the theme for this maiden edition of Adinkra lecture is culture, education, and development. It reflects what we want to do with the proposed Adinkra village to be established at Suma. The Adinkra village project, when completed, will not only preserve the memory of Adinkra, but will also highlight our cultural heritage as a tool for development. I therefore wish to call on all investors, researchers, and lovers of history and culture to help us realize the vision for the center. On behalf of Ghana and the people of Ghana region and Ghana in general, I wish to welcome and express our profound gratitude to these distinguished guest speakers and the chairman for this function, Lady Professor Kese. We normally hear you on this FM, and we are privileged to have you here. University of Ghana, Lagos, School of Performing Arts, Professor Mrs. Kese, my boss, Vice Chancellor of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, where I also teach. Reverend Dr. Akwantu, the man who convinced me to become the paramount chief. As an elder of Church of Pentecost, I was trying to run away from it, and he said it is possible you can do it. Reverend, thank you. He is the General Secretary of Christian Council, and the book he wrote about culture, when I read it, I was convinced without any shred of doubt that it is possible for a Christian to become a chief. Dr. Sarah Mensah, even though your invitation came very late, you have made it to be here. I am proud to have you here, and I'm very, very happy to say that. The most reverend Dr. Robert Awadi Mensah. If my people will permit me, I will have stand up to say thank you. And I'm not I'm sure I'm not two of us. As we are talking here, he is supposed to be at Anahu as a speaker of Methodist conference. Now when I went to his house, I mentioned to him what I want him to do for us. He said, Nana, there's no way I can deny this. Quickly in my presence, he called the bishop and negotiated his coming. Unfortunately, he has been able to come, and I'm very happy. Thank you for coming. We are privileged to have these eminent persons as speakers at this maiden edition as they help us make history. I do believe that by the close of this lecture, all of us here will have been richer in ideas for service to country and humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a food for thought for all of us to ponder over it, and that is my own saying. What is the biggest problem facing us as a people today, or as a nation today? In my considered opinion, our problem is not about scarcity. I want to take it again. Our problem is not about scarcity, but what? Availability. Our ability to manage what we have is the challenge that we are facing as a nation and as a people. So, our capacity to be able to take advantage of opportunities around us and to manage the limited resources we have will go a long way to improve our lives. And therefore, when you ask me the problems of this country, it's not about politicians, it's not about Nana, it's about our ability to manage the limited resources we have. Because the Bible states that God created everything we need as human beings before He brought us on earth. And therefore, wherever we find ourselves, whatever we need to succeed in life has been provided before He put us there. If you think that you can only find it in America, it will not put you at humanity. And therefore, I don't consider my community as a challenge, but I consider it as a privilege to learn them. Finally, I wish to again express our heartfelt gratitude to the ministers of state, particularly the Honorable Regional Minister, Mr. Eric Opoku, the MPs, the MCs and the DCs, particularly Honorable Ntiatwa, my class 1 teacher. He taught me at class 1 to class 6, and I'm very proud to have him as my DC. He is doing everything possible to see me succeed. And he's here, even though another conference is ongoing. The regional minister was in Accra for a contract to be signed on behalf of Braha. And because of this program, we left Accra this morning, and he has made it here. I am very happy to have you, Honorable. Honorable MP Siaka Steven, may God bless you for coming. All the assembly members of German North, I know you are here. Nana from Suma traditional area. Nana Ahimano, Sunyan West, Queen's Association. Anna is saying that we shouldn't say Queen's Association. Nana Yabu Penny, Chirahima, and Nana Watma, and then Miami Yaba, Nana Grace, Suma Kutuba, Yabamamu, Yamapa.
Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Omaine has spoken and is full of wisdom. Nana has said a lot, and I have learned a lot from the message. Nana, you're regional minister. How are you? Now, send ya mamre tiano. Say imedi dwumadie kama say na obrahaf. Na ono a ugina era president anem mama ene ame hye na Adinkra onyam say ya na atosi kakra. Nti e braso se beto safre the minister, the honorable Eric Opoku. Na dia wo
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Reverend Dr. Chairman, I'm President of the Suma traditional area of General Dr. Afram in Bond and all the distinguished personalities of the day, honorable members of Parliament present. Let me also recognize the presence of our senior colleague, the former Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Honorable Ejida Akon, Nanano, distinguished invited guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. At this very special symposium, which is part of activities to mark the 2016 edition of the Suma Akwantu Kese Festival of the Chiefs and People of the Suma traditional area. It is most fitting and appropriate for me as the Chief Executive of the region to convey my warmest felicitations and compliments on behalf of the Regional Coordinating Council to the Chiefs and People of the Suma traditional area. I wish to pay growing tribute to the founding fathers of the traditional area in Nanano, whose hard work towards the preservation of the rich cultural heritage of our people has translated into this unique festival which is celebrated annually. We are grateful to them for the selflessness and good leadership they have exhibited and sustained over the years. Reverend Chairman, undoubtedly, the celebration of the festival affords us the opportunity, as people, the inimitable opportunity to showcase our rich cultural heritage as well as our traditions, which form a strong basis for our identity. Ghanaians generally understand the essential roles culture plays in our lives, which include unifying us as one people with one destiny. In spite of our diversity in language and social behavior across the country, this festival is therefore geared towards the deepening of the cultural basis of our development as a traditional area. This is because it is an occasion which enables you to take stock of your performance in the previous period, and the outcome will ultimately form the basis for the traditional area to chart a new path and the way forward. Most importantly, we are equally happy to note that the purpose for this festival is to mobilize resources towards the establishment of a university campus at Suma. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me at this point sincerely thank Omayene and Nananom for that generous donation of a large parcel of land to facilitate the establishment of a university campus, which will indeed impact positively on the lives of our people. Additionally, the lecture provides us a platform as a people to assess our culture and other values as a dynamic society and see how we can use culture to further our development agenda so that we can look into the future with hope. Reverend Chairman Nananom, the theme for this year's celebration is culture, education, and development. This theme finds expression in the vision of Nananom to ensure the strong emergence of a vibrant culture with the capacity to support government to drive and invest in our education to improve access and the quality at all levels. Therefore, this festival provides us with unique opportunities to re-strategize and target our collective efforts to harness all available resources, human, intellectual, financial, and capital, to effectively meet the development aspirations of our people. As such, it calls for public and private investment in culture to contribute immensely to the generation of the cultural capital that provides the necessary resources towards reinvestment in education to facilitate transformation of our country. It is very important to note that in choosing this theme, we are being challenged to use the richness and diversity of our talent and innovation to greatly transform not only the traditional area but also our country, which will inevitably lead to the creation of new wealth, build strong local economy, and improve the general well-being of our people. We wish to indicate our support to this cause. It is a good cause, a noble cause, a cause that will surely impact on the lives of our people. Nananom, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you are all aware, education has been a trusted and strategic tool for national development. Indeed, as a social democratic government, we believe that it is a right and not a privilege for every child to have access to quality and affordable education to be able to earn a living. This is because only a nation of educated, skilled, well-informed, and morally sound people can build a just and prosperous society. That is why we strongly associate ourselves with this event, which seeks to emphasize the need to use culture as a catalyst to enhance the status and improve the quality of education in Ghana. I wish to indicate that government will continue to provide the needed support and resources towards improving education at all levels. The government will continue to create the necessary opportunities for all children and the youth to have access to quality education. We will continue to deliver social intervention programs that will sustain access and reduce the cost of education. Reverend Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, on this historic occasion, I wish to throw an invitation to everyone, boy or girl, man or woman, rich or poor, religious believer or non-believer, to contribute in all forms to further the agenda of the traditional area. And let's work together to accelerate the progress made so far as we work to transform the area and Ghana as a whole. On this important note, on behalf of the chiefs and people of our region, I wish the chiefs and people of Suma traditional area a happy Akwantu Kese celebration. May the Almighty God richly bless Nanano and the traditional area. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Nanano, the Tusafre, the Ranum, and Pifosa, all free brown for now. Only about a bit Mao. Yura, Empia, or Shep, Jama North, Persianaso, Yura, Siaka, Stephen. Wabi Jam, Nania, Iranum, MP4, a council, the Wabi Tuga. The fact is about
our chairman, regional minister, indefatigable Nana Odeneho, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. I start on behalf of Parliamentary Caucus in Parliament. So we are here to express our heartfelt thanks for Nana, the first place recognizing us, the second point also extending his invitation to us. We are indeed enthused about that invitation. We all would have loved to be here. But as it is now, Parliament is about to rise. So there is even an extended sitting, normally deep into the night, before we postpone. Because of that, most of them are not here. And the promise is that all of them will be there around 18th and 19th to help Nananum observe the Akwantu Kese Festival. Nananum Adia Yerna Apeja Abahe, and yet as a Kitwa. To say I minister, former minister, Yeda Kudi Unkomo. Nasa Kese Festival, I also Peja Adinkra symbol. Who call South Africa? Or maybe a from Cape Town. Adinkra symbol, or I wrote someone say, Africana, from Penny or Ghana. Mama Koya Adinkra symbol, Cape Town. My museum, your friend Gold Museum, in South Africa. See, I say, Ghana for the Koye. Ukwa, Aya Kente, Ahuro, it's your only for the Ghana Koy. Rings, I share Petia, Sapetia, Nina. See, I say, South Africa. Mr. Natima Peja, we also start dial, Cese, Yabama Koho. Me in particular, Nananum members of Parliament are any opinion regional minister count. You have so much international. Nayako, South Africa,
tourism and creative arts. But another assignment has taken her to some other part of the world. So she has delegated somebody, a very competent person, to speak on her behalf. So at this juncture, may I invite the man in charge of the Tourism Authority, the chairman, who is well versed in our cultural issues, a man who knows A to Z about our cultural traditions. Mr. Dake, we are privileged to have you here. Thank you so much.
Your Royal Highness, Odemo Dr. Frank Brempong III, Commander of the Suma traditional area. Let me recognize the distinguished chairman for the occasion, Most Reverend Dr. Robert Abuaji Mensah, former presiding bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana. Honorable Nana Jemfua, member of the Council of State and Queen Mother of Enyima. Honorable Eric Opoku, Minister for the Brown Ahafo region, who is also the special guest for this occasion. Honorable members of Parliament, honorable municipal and district chief executives, distinguished presenters and speakers, dear students and staff, representatives of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you very warm greetings from Honorable Mrs. Elizabeth Ofosua-Jare, the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, who unfortunately is not able to be with us on this auspicious occasion because she's on an international assignment, as you've been informed. She asked me to convey her apologies and promises to engage with you, particularly in other ceremonies of the Suma Akwantu Kese Festival. She asked me to present this message on her behalf, and I will read it dutifully. Distinguished Chairman for the occasion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts salutes His Royal Highness Odeho Nana Dr. Frank Brempong III, Omam of the Suma traditional area, and indeed all celebrants of the 2016 Suma Akwantu Festival, Suma Akwantu Kese Festival, maiden Adinkra lecture being held under the distinguished patronage of Odenewo. As informed, the maiden lecture is being held under the general theme, culture, education and development, and it is to honor the memory of Nana Adinkra, the king of German kingdom who invented Adinkra symbols, and also to recognize and celebrate the legendary works of past and present Ghanaians who have made positive impact on society. Reliving the memory of Nana Adinkra is important because it goes to recognize the contributions made by our forebears to the building of this nation. It also raises national consciousness about the place and relevance of our history in shaping our present circumstances. It is noteworthy that Odenewo and his people have decided to hold this lecture within the framework of the 2016 Suma Akwantu Kese Festival, and I find this very significant because traditional festivals are very important events in the socio-cultural lives of our people and underline the cultural basis of our development as a nation, as the Honorable Regional Minister mentioned. They promote integration and unity. They constitute viable means of periodically appraising the work of our communities and societies and celebrating our gains, as well as stressing our common attributes and harnessing our potential for development. Distinguished Chairman, utilizing a discourse platform such as the Adinkra lecture as a key activity of the festival is absolutely invigorating and needs to be made very strategic. This is in so much as it creates an opportunity to recall the history and heroism of our people and nation, affirm community and national identity and heritage, and renew confidence and pride among our people, energizing them to greater and positive pursuits. I consider the symbolism of Adinkra very profound. Adinkra is a total worldview, philosophical and developmental. It encompasses the entirety of our value system, our systems of political, social, and economic organization, traditional and contemporary manifestation of development and nationhood, production and distribution systems, marriage, family systems, generational relationships, and group culture dynamics. Adinkra is a critical means of social communication and interdependence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts considers Adinkra central to our cultural exchange systems and a key product of our tourism culture, and we are committed to promoting its significance not only in Ghana but also internationally. I wish to assure you that we would, as a ministry, continue to pursue programs that will enable Ghana to take full advantage of the cultural heritage assets in the opportunities offered in the global tourism context. Distinguished Chairman, the choice of the theme of this lecture, Culture, Education and Development, is apt. It offers us a challenge in our efforts at instilling national pride and confidence, as well as raising consciousness of the traditions and customs of our people, and how through education we can emphasize their resilience and vitality. Adinkra is a language system. We are committed to ensuring that we encourage the recognition of the importance of our indigenous systems of communication and symbolism in transmitting culture and our value systems and encouraging its widespread use in our educational curriculum. We are obliged to institute a system of cultural education and also that enables us to appreciate the positive moral, ethical, and aesthetic values of our people, which in totality serve as the basis of our worldview in relation to others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme posits the nexus between culture and development. There is the erroneous notion that sees culture as simply inherited institutional practices and